Good morning. We are a social group this morning, which I completely understand. Our Universalist heritage proposed that each person is made of divine goodness. Science offers that we are stardust. Whatever your beliefs, know that you are a gift inherently worthy of love. I'm going to say that again. You are a gift, and we are glad that you are here. Love is the spirit of all souls. In this moment of our shared journey, may you feel witnessed and honored wherever you are on your journey. Let us now greet our neighbors, especially new or returning people. And if you are comfortable, use your pronouns as well as your names. Thank you. Thank you, Jane and Jane. Good morning, and welcome to all who are with us in the moment and to those who are catching us later on. I am Annie Rahill. My pronouns are she, her. I will be serving as the worship associate for today's service. Together with Nancy Olson, acting director of Faith Formation, Reverend Katie, our senior minister, whose pronouns are she, Aya. Nancy Olson's pronouns are she, her. Dorian Condre, our membership and communications coordinator, pronouns they, he. Gabe Herbieri, music director, pronouns he, him. And Julica Herman de la Fuente, pronouns she, ella. We are a packed team up here this morning, worship team on the chancel. People of all ages are joyfully welcomed in service. Nursery care is available if that option works best for you. I invite everybody to please complete a connection card, and I forgot to grab one. They are the often neon-colored cards on the ends of your pews. This card, thank you, Dorian. This card is a great way to let us know if you would like support, need assistance, have new contact information, have an interest, a comment, or a question. It is just a way to very easily speak to us. Please place your connection card in the offering basket later on when we do the offering. Our Soul Matters theme this month is renewal. Sign up for In the Know to get the packet so you can engage with the materials at home or at All Souls in person and online.
Thank you so much, Annie. And Jane, that was transcendent. Liz, thank you too. Okay. There you are. I want to thank Phil Soper. Phil created this years ago, specifically for flower communion, to hold flowers. And I want you to know that while we'll be doing the ritual later, you're welcome at any point during the service to put a flower in if you brought any flowers with you today. And if you didn't bring any flowers, don't worry because we have extras. So you're fine. We are having a virtual town hall on Tuesday via Zoom. There'll be an e-blast with additional information. We also had a note in the know that went out last week. If you need to be on the e-list, just let me know and I'll make sure we get the information to you. Every Sunday, we are going to start doing collections in the month of June for the IU students at the encampment in Indianapolis, the IUI students. So there is a link in the know to a list of things they really need, like ice, tents. They need people to bring food, and there's a specific way to do that. So we have a group of amazing people who are going to get things to students on Sundays, but we need to start gathering things. Few amazing things coming up. On 6/16, we are having a service centered on Juneteenth, and then we have a Juneteenth concert on June 19th. Gabe, can you come up to the pulpit, please, and share about that? You can share from anywhere you want. You're the boss of you.
Hello, good morning. So, this concert is gonna be with Amanda Thomas. Some of you guys already know her. She has been here a few times, right?
Yes.
Right before I started working here with you guys. She's from Chicago, amazing singer, really good conductor, and she's going to be singing a recital here, and our choir will be participating in this recital, singing a couple pieces with her. I will be conducting with the choir, and one of the pieces, she's gonna be fully leading, like singing the solo and also conducting the choir. And I will be just singing with the choir, or if I'm lucky, I'll just be watching. So you are more than invited to come watch this concert with us. It's gonna be on the 19th, June 19th at 7 p.m. Don't worry, it's not gonna be 3 hours long. It's gonna be 1 hour long with a 10 minutes intermission. okay? And since it is about Juneteenth, we are going to have a lot of spirituals. We're going to have some hymns. And Amanda will also talk a little bit about the history of the hymns, history of the music that will be performed, and also about the history of Juneteenth itself. So I think it's going to be very educational and fun. So please come.
Thank you. And I see Phil. Phil, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. This looks beautiful. The Brunch Brothers will be leading the Pitch In Pancake Breakfast on June 23rd. We'll be enjoying the General Assembly service together with pancakes, and you can bring your favorite brunch-ish dish. Say that quickly. We have a silent auction coming on June 30th, and in case you've missed all the joy and rainbows from one end of this building to the other, it is Pride Month. Yes, indeed. We will be marching with all 4 UU congregations in the Pride Parade on Saturday. We are all 4 congregations sharing a booth at Pride, and all of the 3 ministers that serve in the 4 congregations, we will be doing glitter blessings. We're alternating shifts throughout the day, doing some glitter blessings for folks. So come on down to Pride. As we continue our time together, let us acknowledge the land itself and those who sustained it through the generations. For we are upon the unceded land of the Lenape, Miamia, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people, who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations. I gift to you the words of Unitarian Universalist minister Kim Mason. Once upon a time, chemists believed they could transform lead into gold or death into life. We laugh, but are we not also in the business of alchemy, turning loneliness into connection, pain into comfort, anger into solidarity, and faith into action? The subtle magic of church combines love with justice, creates hope out of fear, transforms individuals into comunidad, community. Here we engage in holy alchemy, finding beauty in the ordinary and life in the present. Come, let us be transformed together.
Thank you for those words. Good morning. Dorian will be lighting our chalice this morning in honor of our new members that have been joining us. This ritual of lighting our chalice reminds us to continually renew our promise to live into our covenant, to put love into action, and to live out this community of love and justice that we sure aim to be. So if you would please rise in body or spirit as we share these words that are printed in your order of celebration. They're in both Spanish and English. If you're with us online, please let us know in the chat where you're lighting your chalice from. And we'll say our Spanish words first. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dorian. And thank you, Nancy. We gather here this morning to honor the newest members to join this congregation over the course of its more than 120 years of history. We gather as an expression of mutual quest toward personal and religious fulfillment. We gather secure in the knowledge that the truths we seek are not constrained by a doctrine or creed. We recognize that each is here for reasons known only to the individual heart, and yet we gather in common fellowship to effect and sustain an atmosphere of mutual support. We don't ask within these walls that you believe unquestioningly that which is espoused by another's conscious convictions. We ask only that you follow faithfully that which your conscience dictates, mindful that in your searching you will encounter other truths, other convictions, other faiths, and you must remain in accountable relationship in this plural community. Here you will be embraced as a member of a common family of seekers, all those past and present who have dedicated themselves to nurturing action and compassion with sympathy to a common vision that no one person is an island unto themselves, but that we're all members of a larger family of life. If you are present and you've not yet signed the membership book, which signing that book says, yes, I will abide by the covenants of this community. Yes, I will participate in the life of the church in the way that I am able. Yes, I will give of time, talent, and treasure as I am able. And yes, I will abide by the ever-growing covenants, including showing up twice a year for our annual meeting so we can make faithful choices together about the direction of this community. All that in a signature and an address.
I am Dorian Condry, Communications and Membership Coordinator. New members, as I call your name, I invite you to step up to the chancel so that we may covenant together. And like Rev Katie said, if anyone is interested in signing the book today, you are welcome to come forward as I call the names. Mickey Hughes, who is unable to be with us today, Ellie Rahale and Kelly Eagle have all signed the book and become new members since our last new member recognition.
And I will also say that Ellie is also a board member that was appointed. Ellie is our first youth board member, and we will be officially installing Ellie on the board in a date to come. So thank you, Ellie. Welcome.
New members, oh, Ellie, wait one moment. I will ask that you repeat after me this new member affirmation.
And I've got it written here too, which makes it easy.
As new members, we accept the responsibilities and freedoms associated with membership in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, to pledge to support this religious community with our times, gifts, and substances, and to join the members of all souls, a common quest for religious and spiritual understanding, and for the common purpose of leading reverent and compassionate lives.
Embody your spirit and share the congregational affirmation printed in your order of service or in your digital order of service.
We bid you welcome as you come with anticipation and joy. We hope that you will find here room to grow and flourish in mind, body, and spirit. We accept you into our community as companions in the spiritual journey. We pledge to rejoice with you in times of happiness, to grieve with you in times of sorrow, and to share with you all the blessings of our free faith. As you cross this spiritual threshold into the deeper life of our congregation and our journey together, let these words from our Unitarian forebearer Theodore Parker serve as a guidepost, and we are invited to read these together. They are also in the order of celebration. Be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual works of love, its profession of faith, divine living. Thank you and welcome. Yay. Ellie's grown up here, and you know, our youth and young adults have a choice as to whether they want to become members or not, and Ellie has chosen, and this is a day for great celebration. So let us celebrate together with song. The words are in your order of celebration. Draw the circle wide.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide.
Please join me in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. Can I say that was a moment of joy for me, seeing my daughter join our community? We have two new positions to celebrate for folks here on the chancel. So first of all, Julika last week started a new job doing continuing education with ministers at the UU Ministers Association. Yay, congratulations, Julika. And I'm very pleased to say she is still going to be our multicultural ministry coach, so we're not losing her. So there was a moment there. She's got us. And yay to Reverend Katie. Reverend Katie was selected to the UUA Board of Trustees to serve on the nominating committee for the next co-moderator team of the UUA. So these are the people who lead the UUA board. They have the most important lay leader roles in our faith, and Reverend Katie will be part of the team that helps put forward candidates. Proud of you, Reverend Katie. I also want to mark some sorrow. Friday marked the 103rd anniversary of the Tulsa, Oklahoma race massacre. As I'm sure most here are aware, there have still not been reparations for the two remaining survivors of that massacre. Let us hold a moment of silence for the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are yet unnamed. Thank you. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing number 1012 in your teal hymnals, When I Am Frightened.
When I am frightened, will you reassure me? When I'm uncertain, will you hold my hand? Will you be strong for me? Sing to me quietly. Will you share some of your stories with me? If you will show me compassion, then I may learn to care as you do. Then I may learn to care. When I am angry, will you still embrace me? When I am thoughtless, will you understand? Will you believe in me? Stand by me willingly. Will you share some of your questions with me? If you will show me acceptance, then I may learn to give as you do. Then I may learn to give. When I am troubled, will you listen to me? When I am lonely, will you be my friend? Will you be there for me? Comfort me tenderly. Will you share some of your feelings with me? If you will show me commitment, then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love.
The Flower Communion is a uniquely Unitarian Universalist celebration created by Czech Unitarian ministers Norbert and Maha Čapek, who founded the modern Unitarian movement in the Czech Republic. They introduced this special service to that church on June 4th, 1923.
Dr. Čapek was born on June 3rd, 1870, in what was then Czechoslovakia. He became a reporter during the First World War. He then came to the U.S., where he served in the Army intelligence during the war.
Norbert met and married Maha in New York, and they became Unitarians. They returned to Prague in 1921 and founded the Unitarian Church with the help of the American Unitarian Association, and Maha was ordained in 1926.
The Prague church services consisted of lectures and some music. The Čapeks felt the lectures alone were dry and boring. I agree. They saw the need for some symbolic ritual that would bring people closer together as a religious community. And also, because of the Nazi occupation, it was made illegal and dangerous to practice communion. And Flower Communion was born.
In the service, everyone was asked to bring a flower to church. And where should I? Okay. And during the service, members would place their flower inside a large vase. Toward the end of the service, each person took a different flower from that vase. Here we do it a little more fancy than a vase.
When Maha came to the United States in the spring of 1940, she introduced the flower communion to the Unitarians at First Parish Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's Gospel of the Inherent Worth and Beauty of every human person to be, as Nazi court records show, too dangerous for the Reich. It was too dangerous for the Reich for Čapek to be allowed to live.
In March of 1941, Čapek and his youngest daughter were arrested by the Gestapo and sent to Dresden prison. Later, he was transferred to the Dachau concentration camp, where he was killed in October 1942.
But before his death, Čapek's courage in the face of torture and starvation was a source of much inspiration to his fellow prisoners. He organized the flower communion service in prison as well. And after the war, survivors testified that this Unitarian minister could not have been sent to a place where he was more needed.
Dr. Čapek's message of human hope and decency and his sacrificial commitment to justice and freedom lives on through the flower communion. And so that is why we continue this ritual and tell his story every year. And now it's time for us to engage in the flower communion. In a moment, I'm going to invite you forward and ask that each of you turn to approach this gorgeous lattice so full of flowers, gifts of love, to place a flower if you haven't placed one yet, and to take a flower. And if you don't have a flower, please still come forward and take a chosen flower, noting its particular shape and beauty. Remember to handle it carefully. It is a gift that someone else has brought to you. It represents each person's unique humanity and therefore deserves our kindest touch. Let us share in this Unitarian Universalist ritual of oneness and love.
And if you want me to bring you a flower, wave and let me know if you don't want to come all the way up here.
Gracias.
Annie. Guess we'll be here to hold witness.
I can also. Let us come together in the spirit of reflection with this adapted prayer by Dr. Chopek. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask your blessings on these flowers and these people, your messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us and be reminded amid diversities of knowledge and gifts to be one in desire and affection and devotion. May we cherish friendship as one of our most precious gifts. May we realize that whatever we do, great or small, the efforts of us all are needed to do the highest good in this world. May the flowers we've shared this day remind us that all are precious and beautiful, each in their own unique and special way. Together, we create an amazing bouquet. May this garden here, online, in the present, and in the future flourish, and may it bless this world. May all of us always be guided by the transforming power of love. Que así sea, amen, and blessed be. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 76 in our gray hymnals, For the Flowers That Bloom. And thank you to our song leaders and Liz on piano.
For flowers that bloom about our feet, bright and the grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and human bee, for all things there we hear or see. Giver of all, we thank thee. For blue of stream and blue of sky, for pleasant shade of branches high, for fragrant air and cooling breeze, for beauty of the blooming trees. Giver of all, we thank thee. For this new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food and love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends. Giver of all, we thank thee.
Thank you. You may be seated. Hello.
I really wish I had the pink one. Right? I
We can make that happen.
just
I
thinking,
mean,
like,
I mean, really, right? We can make the pink
Oh,
happen.
thank you.
Thank you, Jane Alexander. Yes, indeed. All is right with the
Now,
world.
All is well. All is well now. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to have a conversation. I was wondering if we should set a timer.
I'm here.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, we can get going.
You know how it is
Yeah.
sometimes. I have to
Yeah.
stop myself, but we'll be okay today.
Let's talk about courage, and let's start with why courage is a pertinent topic when we do flower communion.
Yes.
You have some thoughts.
I think it's always relevant for us to talk about courage. We are a living faith. That means we have to consistently do a reflective process individually, in community, and engage with the world at large. We have to pay attention to science. We have to pay attention to folks that aren't in our individual communities and in the room to consistently understand what is the truth. And it takes courage to do that. It also takes courage to be present and a force for good as we face down oppression, and to try to hold the space for beauty amidst challenging times. And we are amidst challenging times. I keep waiting for the moment, where we're just like, yeah, wasn't this an easy year? Like nothing, there was no war this year, no hunger this year, there weren't gunshots on our street, we weren't second in the nation for evictions, everyone of all ages could receive the care they need for their bodies. Everyone had autonomy over their bodies, I long for those days, and we're not there. So we have to courageously take risks of varying degrees, and I believe over this next year, we are going to be called to be a deeper force for courage and love. This is a tempestuous time, internationally, nationally, within our state and within our local community. And our faith calls us to continue to be present to larger issues.
That's right. That's right. And not all of us are called to that ultimate courage of sacrificing our lives.
Right.
Some of us just by being trans. Some of us just by being who we are actually experiencing that level of risk. Others of us not that level, but we all have to find the place, I think, where our edge is, and just be a little bit further than where it's comfortable. Not too far. If we push ourselves too far, I think we freeze up. We get activated, we go into trauma response. Far enough that we can feel a challenge and that it feels energizing, that it feels like, yeah, this isn't easy, but it's good. It's important. And also, that it's not just about individual courage, like a single person courage, but about communal courage. Because isn't it easier to be courageous together?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that one of the reasons we come to church? To remind ourselves of that commitment to be courageous? Yeah.
And I think we have some good examples of how we are collectively being courageous. More than a year ago, this congregation voted unanimously for me, on your behalf, to join the ACLU's case against the state of Indiana's near abortion ban.
That's
You
right.
said collectively, we want our minister, we are going to put our energy, our power in this place as an act of faithful resistance.
That's right. Yesterday, I was here to support the outgoing and the incoming board members. A hand of applause for your board members, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your service. And during the blessing, or at some point, I said, this takes courage. It takes courage to be a leader in a congregation where it reminds me a little bit of that movie. Some of you will remember, I'm going to date myself, Shakespeare in Love, where they say it's going to work out, and the other one says, I don't know how it will work out. And the character says, I don't know. It's a mystery. That there's just this unknown piece to leadership right now. There's this mystery to how we're going to make it.
Yes.
And so to say yes to leadership takes courage.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're saying yes to something that you don't exactly know what you're saying yes to. I mean, you're saying yes to meetings every month, but you're saying yes to much more than just meetings every month when you agree to be on the board. And so I appreciate those of you who have said yes for this community.
And there's the courage to be vulnerable, something I think board leadership has modeled incredibly well. Yeah. It takes a lot as a leader to say, we have $800,000 worth of damage to the building, and we want to know, we don't have all the answers. We're looking for them, and also we want to hear from the congregation because you're stakeholders in this process. And we are coming to you to be transparent with where the process is so that we can go together. Instead of saying, we have to have it all figured out, all on our own in a tiny little group, before we come to the congregation and say, it'll be okay, it's going to be fine. We're saying it's going to be fine, and also it's going to be fine together, because courageously we are making choices to get the best information. We are engaging with partners. We're going to talk more about this at the town hall on Tuesday evening at 7, about how we are courageously engaging with issues and also continuing being transparent. It is risky to be vulnerable. You know, one of my favorite Brene Brown lines is when she talks about going into the therapist and she just wants to make spreadsheets about vulnerability. She doesn't want to actually be vulnerable. Right. And that is in the water that we all sort of move around and have our beingness in. And we are not doing that. We are courageously engaging together with difficult questions, and it takes trust with that courage too. It's beautiful.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, Peg. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You got this. You got this. It's also the month of Pride.
Woo!
And so for those of us who identify as queer, trans, non-binary, those of us who are on the LGBTQIA spectrum, there is a piece of courage just in existing, as I said earlier. And it's so good and so important that we create life-saving communities like this one, where people can just go, oh, that's a relief. I can be myself here. Every time we come out, every time we decide, is this the right moment? Is this where I want to say something or not say something? Who would it serve if I say something right now? That's like a math that all of us have to do in our heads when we're queer, and it's tender, it's delicate. So what we can do as a community is celebrate whenever someone does it and be like, yeah, welcome, we see you, and we appreciate the courage that it took to be yourself. So I know you're going to go to Pride and you're going to have a really good time, and also that energy is about generating hope, particularly in environments where it doesn't feel like it's okay to do it on a regular basis. It's a place where those of us who need it can go and fill our buckets. Yeah.
And as a faith community, it's particularly important for us to be showing up. I love that all 4 congregations are coming together and working together on materials that are representative of all 4 congregations and our larger faith. It's important because there's been harm from churches, and we can show up and be a place of continued healing, of celebration, and it matters, and it will take courage for us to continue to show up in that way and continue to advocate collectively as a body, so that no one person or small group must do that advocating for rights that should be given.
I'm having a thing. Thank you.
Sí.
Okay.
Está bien.
I would like to invite us to take a moment to sit with our own lives and places that we have recently been courageous, or that are coming up that are going to require courage. And Liz, maybe where's Liz? There you are. Could you play a moment of music to help us feel and have a moment with ourselves? Moments in our families, in our workplaces, here in this community, that require courage. And with the flower that you have, or with your hand, bless your courageous heart.
you are leaning into your courageous heart, I share with you the translation of the words of a song you'll hear soon. And I invite you to allow these words to wash through you as you nurture your courageous hearts. Abandon surrounding abandon, tenderness touching tenderness. Your oneness endlessly caresses itself, so they say, self-caressing through its own clear reflection. Thus you invent the theme of Narcissus Fulfilled. Now we, as a body of courage, dismantle narcissist ideals and have courageously, continuously engaged individuality and collective accountability. So I invite you, as you're leaning into your courageous heart, to think of who you might want to process with. What voices or supports might you need in your work?
How might you encourage each other to stay at it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we do here.
You are enough, and you are never alone.
Amen.
Amen.
Wow. Just thank you. Can I just say I'm sitting up here absolutely filled with gratitude that I get to be a part of this amazing, thriving community. Thank you. Thank you, choir. This week, we are sharing our offering plate with Faith in Indiana. Faith in Indiana aligns with our UU values. For instance, this year's campaign focus is on helping people facing evictions, which is very necessary for us in Indiana, as Indiana is the second in the nation for evictions. To contribute, you can give cash or a check into the collection plate, or online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org and you'll find the link on the left side. Don't forget, if you filled out one of the connection cards, put it in the plate when it comes around. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and for this world. The morning offering will now be given and gratefully received.
You bring an aster and I'll bring a rose, flowers from roadside, field or garden, symbols of friendship, gifts we each chose. Each blossom praises nature the artist. A flower is given and we hear beauty's call. Though each one is different, each blesses all. Sharing the flowers, our faces glow. Loving one another, community grows. You bring a lotus and I'll bring a lupine. Flowers from roadside, field or garden, symbols of strength that rises from within. Each blossom praises nature the artist. Together we're stronger than we can be apart, embracing the spirit in our neighbors' hearts. Everyone needed if we are to see richness of difference in our unity. You bring a daisy and I'll bring a bluebell, flowers from roadside, field or garden, symbols of kinship in which we dwell. Each blossom praises nature the artist. Each blossom praises.
Oh, beautiful. I give to you an adapted version of these words by John O'Donohue. Blessed be the mind that dreamed the day the blueprint of your life would begin to glow on earth, illuminating all the faces and voices that would arrive to invite your soul to growth. Praise be to those who loved you before you were and trusted to call you here with no idea of who you would be. Blessed be those who have loved you into becoming who you were meant to be. Courageously, I invite you to use this gift of life to bless yourself and others. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be.
to